Are we gonna miss Shula's?
Prince of the Bear, today we're at Dolphin, the Dolphin and Swan Resort, because it's time due.
We're at a Bourbon Steakhouse.
Yes, by Michael Mina, a brand new steakhouse over here in the Dolphin Resort. They replaced the old, the tired, the maybe football-themed Shula's.
Yes.
And as your number one choice of foodie for entertainment, we're here to investigate, so you don't have to. Because remember, she's vegan. I'm not. Put a steak in this thing. Call it done.
It's time to foodie and chill. It's barbecue time. Let's go for a barbecue free. It is very paprika forward. Super into it. I like how smoky it is, but not too smoky. I would give it a 4 out of 5 fry.
It seems the closer you get to Epcot, the higher the likelihood that you're going to run into some level of fly fright. Now, not just during festivals, but any time of year. You have their special table gift of fries. You have a paprika fry, a herb fry, and then a truffle fry. And the truffle is just wafting above you. And then a herb aioli, basic ketchup, and then their bourbon barbecue sauce. So we're just going to go and pick the most seasoned of the fries and give it a dip in each one. Bourbon barbecue sauce and then the paprika fries. They definitely did not skimp on the paprika. You can feel that. And the bourbon barbecue sauce has a particular character to it. It just sort of hangs in your mouth. You definitely get those bourbon characteristics in the barbecue sauce, and that tastes wonderful. Give that 4.25 out of 5 claws.
Next, I have a nice little herbaceous fry. It does taste like a roasted potato, which is kind of one of my favorite potatoes outside of a gratin. So yeah, I'm here for that. I'll give that a 4 out of 5 fry.
Here we have the herb fries, full of the herbs. You can see little specks of green and whatnot on there. And then we have ketchup. Because even with Spring Canyon knows, you need ketchup for your fries. Herb, garlicky, ketchup, the blood of a tomato, does quite well. Give that 3.5 out of 5 claws.
And then I think this is just your regular fry. Oh, it's truffle. Oh, you can smell it. Wow. Oh, yeah. This is just eating just truffle. If you're a truffle person, you will really enjoy this. Me, not so much, but I do appreciate the fact that they didn't put the duck fat on this so that I can try it too. That's really awesome. I would say 3.5 out of 5 fries for the truffle because it's strong. But the whole flight is a 4.
The last of these is the truffle fries with the aioli. And I am probably starting a war, or at least joining a war against the use of truffle. I know truffle is popular, but as I've said 1,000 times, and will say 1,000 times more when this channel exists, you don't have to put truffle on everything. Restraint. It's like people that bathe in cologne. Luckily, that flavor profile, especially when you put it in the mayo, it's just enough truffle. So I don't feel like I just licked somebody's specially shaved truffle collection or the fancy hoity-toity gift shop at the airport. You're okay. I think I like the paprika fries and the bourbon barbecue sauce the best. But the truffle fries is probably my second favorite. I give them a 4 out of 5 claws.
I'm actually really excited for this Hearts of Palm salad. Now, if you are a vegan that eats Hearts of Palms, this is vegan as is. If you're not, obviously, you don't want to order it. But it looks really good. It's almost giving me a seafood vibe. It is a Dijon dressing, the butter lettuce, sorry. And then there's avocado in here. I'm really excited for this. It's got some good things in here. Nice big bite. I commit to my mistakes. Oh, it's dripping. That is amazing. I love the citrus of the hearts of palm with like the Dijon dressing and then like that pop of poppy seed on top is incredible. The flavors, everything together, it just blends so well. I would say it is a perfectly balanced salad. I did bring pocket parm, but I won't put it on this because I think it would ruin it. It tosses my salad, and I hope it calls me like in a week at the max. Otherwise, I'm gonna be like, why didn't a salad call me? 4 to 5 salads.
So, a Hearts of Palm vegan salad as is at a steakhouse is an absolute win. You have these touch of the radishes, the seeds in here, got cuts of Hearts of Palm and avocado. It smells fragrant and herbed, and really just inviting you to like dive right in. I want like all the things. Like, you're gonna want a big bite of this. A very big bite in this case, and wet. I really like how they blended the Dijon vinaigrette. It gives you like that Dijon flavor, but like thins it out so it's not too intense. So while Dijon's a strong flavor, you still taste the avocado and the Hearts of Palm, and it all sort of like goes together well without being like overly powerful. Hearts of Palm, even on its own, can be a very tart, very strong flavor. Though that with like the butter lettuce, like that is a salad. Like this feels like an appetizer. I know a lot of people, we see salads on menus and it's like a salad appetizer is like a throwaway. No, this is a flavor paradise filled with greenery, if you will. That 4 out of 5 claws.
Tuna tartare.
Thank you.
Michael Mina's creation 20 years ago in San Francisco. It has pine nuts, Asian pear, mint, and the quail egg we use as a binder with the triple habanero-sesame seed oil.
Okay.
Combine all the ingredients together. It's classic dishes. Now he offers them in all of his bourbon steaks.
So this delightful looking pile of tuna deliciousness is the Michael Mina's Tuna Tartare. Now this is a chain of steakhouses, and apparently this is one of the appetizers that makes it on every menu. It's one of his favorite. They mix this at the table with pine nuts and a quail egg. They like scramble the quail egg and then pour it over top and then mix all the ingredients in. Then they give you like these little triangle toasties and a huge spoon to sort of dip it on. This definitely feels like a shareable portion, but clearly it's not vegan. But I'm going to have it, not in the princess's honor, but for all of our friends out there who aren't with us today. Yes, that includes you guys watching this video. Comment and tell me what you're excited for. Now, if you pause, comment, I'll wait. Tuna and tartare, or tartare period, it's not for everybody. It's like one of those acquired tastes. I suggest that you all try it at some point, but it can be very strong, like the flavor of the protein that forms the base. This, I was worried, like with pine nuts and quail egg, is that going to be enough? You also have like a little chili oil over top. It's got a little bit of spice as well. They gel excellently. It's sort of like a more like forest surf and turf, because like you have the tuna, but then the pine nuts give it like this earthiness. It's kind of like hangs with it. And then the chili oil and the quail egg give it like this nice sticky savory thing that goes well on the bread. That's tasty. I can see why this is a favorite. And honestly, this would be one of those things that like every time we come here, I'm ordering this. Delicious. 4.75 out of 5 claws. This monstrous looking cut of meat here is their 16-ounce ribeye. The Mozzadino, something with an M. So, obviously being a steakhouse, even though I am not always the most steak-attracted person, I decided that I'm going to see what Michael Mina can do, and we're going to do a steak. Now, I got it with an accompaniment of their bourbon steak sauce. It also comes with this oven roasted tomato topped and breadcrumbs. And then inside the tomato is some of the same steak sauce. So we're going to get the steak. I got it medium rare because I don't ruin steak here. Just to give it a cut. They give you an extra sharp steak knife, you know. Branded with bourbon steak on the blade. It's nice and the perfect color on the inside, perfect temperature. Looking beautimous. Let's give the steak by itself a try first. Now the steak melts in your mouth. Now they age their steaks here in butter, and then it's roasted. You got butter, garlic, there's some, a little bit of pepper. Touches on here to enhance the steak, nothing to sort of like ruin the steak. They're not going crazy with anything wild, but if you want wild, they have the typical like prawns and lump crab to put on top. You can get a blue cheese crusted steak if you so wish. Like all of the normal steakhouse fare where you want a little bit of excitement with your chunks of meat is here. I just wanted to go the basic of basic. So I got the bourbon steak sauce. And we're just going to give that a little dip around the back end. The bourbon steak sauce is a nice touch. It doesn't go like overboard with like the sauce, but I like the flavor, what it adds without sort of getting in the way of the steak. So it's the steak be the steak. I would give that 4 out of 5 claws. The steak, juicy, tender, is exactly what you expect from a ribeye. Those sort of like marbleized, like fatty pieces on the inside, just served to give it like a more savory overall flavor. I would give that a 4 out of 5 claws. Now our server suggested taking a little bit of tomato because it has the barbecue sauce, not the barbecue sauce, the bourbon steak sauce in there, and sort of eating up the steak. It goes rather well to it. So tomato on steak, okay. That is delightful. I like what the breadcrumbs and like the acidity of the steak or the tomato does with the sauce. It does give it a different like flavor profile to the steak itself. I would give that a 4.25 out of 5 claws. Overall, I'm giving the entire steak a 4.2. Delicious. This steakhouse is feeling like a much better fit for Dolphin than Shula's was.
So while I was perusing the menu, I saw the kids' menu. I saw they had pasta on the kids' menu, so I figured they would be able to make me a pasta, and lo and behold, I was right. They could. And they just threw in, looks like some asparagus, some broccolini, things I'm not mad at. I think there's some zucchini in here too. And I do have pocket parm, thankfully. And there's definitely some garlic on here, so I'm excited. Even though this bowl is giving me like Le Cellier vibes. I just had a pasta recently on a video you're going to see coming soon. That we had to give you guys this one first because just came out. But that one had a little bit more like fresh veggies. They had a lot of like mixture veggies. This, I feel like when you just have the greens, those tasty. You don't have as much of like a flavor complexity as if you just threw a bunch of veggies in there. So there's like a noticeable difference. The sauce, though, I really appreciate. Unlike Il Milano, who puts Parmesan in their sauce, at least their sauce is vegan, so that's great. This is an average pasta, though. I wouldn't proactively come here for this, but I would come for that salad. This on its own, I'm going to give a 2.75 out of 5 pastas.
Here we go again. House-made pasta at a steakhouse for the princess. I'm going to need, I don't call them friends because we don't know any of them. We follow them on social media. They don't talk to us. They've never slid in our DMs, so maybe they should. I'm going to need Chunk Foods, Juicy Marble to give Disney restaurants a call. Because you need, if anywhere in the world you want your plant-based steak showcased, it should be a Disney World. And there are plenty of steakhouses on this property that would love to play with your product. You need to give them a call because they don't know you exist. We know you exist, but they don't know you exist.
Universal does.
Charlie's Steakhouse on International Drive has a plant-based steak. Universal has tons of them. You're missing out. Get in where the getting's good. Until then, we're eating pasta. I'll give it to them that their red sauce is no slouch. It's well made and flavorful. The pasta's pasta. I like the ingredients of the broccolini and the asparagus, but I like asparagus and pasta. I'm one of those weird people. It definitely feels like a kid-sized portion of pasta, but I'm glad that they do have the option. They were ready and able to make this for the princess. But if you make the vegan food, the vegans will come. There are some pretentious ones out there. We know a few, but they're not all like that. Some of them want to eat steak with their friends. Honestly, you could have just made like vegetable skewers and they would come. They just want to feel like equals at the table. There's plenty of pie and table and restaurant for everybody. Get some. 3.25 out of 5 plus.
What would a pasta adventure be without some pocket parm? I gotta throw it on here. I know some of you asked me in the comments, what is pocket parm? It is Madly Hadley. Also another brand that we think needs to be represented at Disney. I mean, it's such a beautiful, easy thing to do to just plus up your pasta. Just add a little bit of parm, right? Let's go. Somehow I just feel like it makes it taste better. I would give it a like 3.25 out of 5 pastas when you add the parm. Much better.
Pocket parm, pocket nooch. It's a little bit of extra flavor glitter for the food. It's really amazing what a little touch of the pocket parm can do. I even made jokes sometimes, the princess like bringing the pocket parm, but the result is in the flavor. I can't knock her for it, especially when we go into places not knowing what she's going to be able to eat. The pocket parm is almost like a utility belt essential at this point, like her little pocket superhero. 4 out of 5 plus. Maybe it's my southern roots, or maybe I'm just a glutton for punishment. There's something that just attracts me about cream corn on a menu. Now, I'll admit, as a child, I got served cream corn. I was a little upset because cream corn, I thought, when I was a little tiny baby bear, was absolutely disgusting. But I was eating like the cream corn in like the Jolly Green Giant cans. So like it was corn slop in a can almost. Now, artisanal, high-priced signature restaurant cream corn was like coming full circle. So this is their jalapeno cream corn, topped with a couple diced jalapenos on top. It's nice and creamy looking, nice and thickened. Give this a shot with a little jalapeno on the end. I know you're looking at me. Yes, all of you. You wanting to know if there's like some spice to it. Am I sweating? Is it too much? It's not. It's 2.5 out of 10 on the heat scale. A little creep, middle of the mouth. But it's giving me like cream corn version of the jalapeno cornbread from House of Blues. Okay? With me? You with me? That is amazing. The jalapeno gives it this nice, like, deep flavor, so it's not just corn. It's giving some complexity, some layers to it. And honestly, they are match made in heaven. It's like Lucy and Desi, or not Whitney and Bobby. We don't do Whitney and Bobby. Satan and Hulk Hogan. There you go. Satan and Hulk Hogan. The tasty bunch. I would give that 4.5 out of 5 claws. If you like corn, this is the side for you.
My fair weather friend, a non-alcoholic beverage, because like I don't know, none of the drinks were really sparking joy for me. I just wanted one of these. I wanted it specifically because it was ginger ale, and it is very light on the ginger. I'm not mad at it, but it's more like a seltzer water. I'll give it like a 4 out of 5 beverages. It's nice.
I almost feel a little offended because calling a drink a fair weather friend, I don't want the kind of friends that are only here for fair weather. This is Florida. Both metaphorically and literally, it storms here. If you're not going to ride or die, I'm not sure I want you. But to name that one of the non-alcoholic drinks, which has one of the 0 proof spirits in it, feels a little disingenuous, if you will. Very seltzery, very light. A little bite to it though, not like spicy, but it's not just seltzer, but it's very light and refreshing. It's almost like a sparkling refresher, if you will. Interesting. A little hint of flavor there on the back end. Think like a not as intense Truly or something. That's about where you are. I'll give it 3.5 out of 5 claws.
Let's see if this drink really is a friendly face. I feel like it's not. Yeah, it tastes like I walked over to a neighbor's house and asked for a cup of sugar and they gave it to me. That's nice. A little lemony, but not too lemony. Nice and smooth. I would give it a 4 out of 5. Beverages. The beverages here are hitting. I would come here and sit at the bar. I don't think I would pick this over Rosa Mexicano, but I would come here and sit at the bar.
Now, all of my friends are friendly faces, and if you count yourself amongst those, you already know who you are. You're always welcome to come visit me for bourbon, even Buffalo Trace. Ooh. I got this thinking that, we're at, Bourbon Steak Orlando by Michael Mina. But I should get something with bourbon in it. Now you have Buffalo Trace, a spiced cacao, and then lemon vanilla, which on its own sounds like a puzzle piece of a beverage. It is complex, but in a fun way. Like breaking out a puzzle of like mini bottles of liquor and then playing roulette with them, basically. That level of fun. I approve. I'll give that 4 out of 5 claws.
I named it after my favorite lyric in a song by The Doors, Breaking On Through to the Other Side, right?
Yes.
He gets on his piano and he starts screaming, "Everybody loves my baby." And when I was creating this cocktail, I was literally listening to that song, which is pretty amazing.
Awesome.
So this take is a take on a Manhattan, right? So it is a little bit of rye, genepi, which is going to be a herbal liqueur, like a pine liqueur, as well as a French ginger liqueur, and then sassafras, which is the origin to root beer, sarsaparilla, right? So funny enough, I love root beer, and when I was trying to make this drink, I was trying to perfect my root beer syrup. Couldn't figure it out. I ended up going for a soda bib from a fountain machine.
Oh.
And that root beer ended up being exactly what I needed. So again, rye, herbal liqueur, ginger, sassafras, and cardamom. And I do like to add a little bit of this kind of rose aromatic because it really ties it all in together.
Smells amazing.
Cheers, guys. I appreciate it.
Thank you so much. Compliments of the drink, I guess we call him the coordinator, drink manager. At Disney they're called bar managers, I think. But yes, cheers to him. I didn't catch his name. I'm going to try and catch it before we leave. Gave us, on the house, a There Goes My Baby. Is that what he said? Yeah, from The Doors, which is cool. It smells amazing. The rose that he hit us up with smelled very Persian. Oh, wow. That sassafras just hits you so hard. This is the kind of drink they should really have at like Beaches and Cream or the fountain downstairs. They could use a drink like this. This is fire. I would order this at the bar. This is like a 4.75 out of 5. I don't really... Actually, you know what? I'm just going to make it a 5 out of 5. I think it's good. I don't really think there's anything you could do to change this unless you made it like a float. Like if you threw an ice cream in there or like a vegan one... Yes.
So everybody's baby. I don't really picking up everybody's baby, but if it's one thing that we're a sucker for, from anything from like a server to the chef to like a mixologist, we like a story of creation behind something, whether it's different parts of service, a plate itself, like. We got lots of stories from like the chefs like California Grill about like the journey they went on to find certain ingredients to get things. The fact that they were trying to create like his own Manhattan, but like themed after sort of like a root beer version of Manhattan, and then which led him to sassafras is interesting. That alone has my attention perked, fully perked. It smells like root beer even. Wow. Okay. Now, even those of you that have been here with us for a long time don't know that I am a root beer cultist, okay? We don't keep root beer in the house because I would make it disappear. I am a sucker for good root beer, but I have never really been a fan of the flavor profile of like a Manhattan. It's just not my vibe. The ingredients in Manhattans have just never been something that like I've sort of like aligned with, but like this with the sassafras and the ingredients, like this is something that I would sip and drink happily at this bar. Like I could see coming here just for this. The Princess gave it a 5, and I was doubting him like a 5 on a Manhattan. It's a 5 out of 5 clause. That is amazing, even without the story.
So, though not on the menu, there are 3 vegan sorbets that you can order. There is a root beer, there is a white grape, and then there is a yuzu raspberry. I really wanted all 3. A server was like, oh yeah, let me ask the kitchen. Yeah, they'll totally do it for you. $27 for 3, which means it's like $9 a scoop, if I did my math correctly. Well, I remember 27, but I divided it on my phone and it was 9, so I know that's right. Anyway, I decided to go with root beer because I've never had root beer sorbet before, and it just sounds so interesting. Well, I have not had any of those 3 flavors before, and I'd love to try them all, but root beer seems to be a specialty here. Wow. I don't think I ate sorbet. I think I just ate root beer. It's like frozen root beer. It is so good. I wish they had like a vanilla soyo with this, because that would really just be like, I'm eating root beer float, and that would be fire. I would love an ice cream cake out of this. Like a vanilla cake with the root beer sorbet and then do like a whipped topping. All vegan, of course. That would be fire. I'm here for the root beer. I love it. I will give it a 4.75 out of 5 sorbets. If there's anything I can say about the desserts here, they are thought-provoking.
Sorberific, okay? We love a good sorbet. Now, root beer sorbet. Now I feel like you're trying to bribe me. But you don't even know who I am. How would you know to bribe me with root beer? Interesting. Spoon this the princess way, away from me. Like I would a fancy soup. Remember those little like, it's probably aging myself, the little dum-dum lollipops, little like 10, 15 cent lollipops you get from the corner store, that are like the real wood flavors. They had like a root beer, like a banana float, like the really weird flavors. That's what that reminds me of. Nice, strong root beer flavor, but like ice cold. Glorious. If this is the kind of flavors you're going to have on rotation for a sorbet, I'll just take this as a dessert. 5 out of 5 class. Heavy amount of bites put in that, but a 5 out of 5 class. I feel like I'm going with all the namesakes and specialties tonight. We got the bourbon steak chocolate bar. We have peanut butter crunch on the sides, like a bookends, and then a chewy brownie on top, or in the middle rather, with these chocolate avant-garde abstract triangles attached to it. So it's a bar. It's literally a chocolate cookie brownie bar. So go ahead and invite you guys into this forking here. Ooh. Ah. That is definitely a brownie bar. Get a little bit of this peanut butter crunch here, and I'm going to pick it up. You need to see the inside of this. That is decadent looking. Like, this is probably more of a mouthful that I wanted to dessert at one time, but the way the fork slid through it, My mouth deserves it. We have a very interesting community on this channel. We're very proud of all of you. We love all of you. Yes, we love all of you. There's a couple of you. Gotta go back and forth. But we love all of you. If any of you work for Snickers, tell them they're in trouble. Tell them somebody defected stole a recipe, because this is a signature restaurant Snickers bar. It tastes like a Snickers bar. Just like the nuts, the chocolate, even the consistency, it tastes like a Snickers bar. Elevated, more chocolatey, more peanut, more crunch. Don't go to the candy store, gas station. Come to Bourbon Steak. Get you a Bourbon Steak candy bar. You won't find any better than this in all of this Wolfen. 4.75 out of 5 plus. Bourbon Steak with Medina. Worthy replacement to Shula's.
So much better than Shula's. I left Shula's like disappointed. I left this satisfied. I thought that everything was flavorful and amazing, and I want to try all the sorbets later.
I definitely think that it's a better fit for Wolfen as a whole. Shula's felt a lot more outdated, a lot stuffy. They've redesigned the restaurant in small ways, a little bit more light in. The color makes the rooms feel a little bit more open.
Agreed.
And it's still like the same level of service, but it doesn't feel as stuffy and outdated as it did before.
One thing that I can appreciate with Bourbon Steak versus something like Big River. When Big River closed at the boardwalk, they just told all their people like that day, like, oh, you're out of a job, deuces, hope you enjoy unemployment. Whereas
here at
Bourbon Steak,
they kept the entire staff.
Yeah, they kept everybody from Shula's. So like all of our servers were tenured, everybody knew like everything, everybody was cool, and like I just think I really appreciate that more, because especially a place like Shula's that has been here for so long, you're gonna have a lot of regulars that want like certain things, and your regulars want their regular servers. So
people that are comfortable
in
their vacations, they want their tried and true. But we think the change was well needed.
Agreed.
It's not so drastically different as to be unrecognizable, but different enough to sort of match everything else you got going on here with Blue Zoo, Rosa Mexicana. It fits the vibe.
And I will say there are 4 private event rooms. So if you're looking to do like a private event or something like that, you got lots of options.
So they also gave us treats.
Yes, so each one of us got a chocolate bar. The cool thing is that it is dark chocolate, and we did check the back, it is actually vegan. So I thought instead of us sitting at the table, maybe Bear and I could just share a chocolate. So chocolate for you, chocolate for me, and there's still another square left. That is rich.
I remember reading the package, it's Himalayan sea salt, dark chocolate. You can taste the bits of salt in there, just enough to elevate the chocolate without feeling like you're eating a salt bar with chocolate.
I would have loved this with my root beer sorbet. That was fabulous. I can't, like I've said already twice, cannot wait to try all of those sorbets. They were so good. Everything was so delicious. This is delicious. Finally, Swalfin has a decent steakhouse.
Yeah.
Il Milano is not good. I thought Rosa Mexicana was the only good one here, but no. Now we have a steakhouse. Not as good as Le Cellier. Let's be real, but it's good.
But I want to know how excited you guys are for this brand new experience here at the Swalfin Resort. Let us know what you think. If you're excited, if you're planning a reservation on your next trip, in the comments below. If there's anything else you like to see us do, as always, that would be the place to find us. Hit that notification bell if you want to see other videos like this, and
we have new videos 5 days a week. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Saturday.
we will see you soon.
Be sure to subscribe and like this video. And if you don't comment, I think Bear might eat himself from the dolphin to the swan and become a swalfin.
You heard the girl.